We've got some great questions and comments about the Assembling a Knife Kit video, as well as a few other things. Thanks for joining us today on Questions and Answers with James Townsend and Son. So the very first thing I want to address is a couple of sort of questions and comments. One from EL West 1000 and John Lambert. And they both reference the Easy Hasty Pudding episode. It's kind of interesting. Here's E.L. West writes, I always thought hasty pudding was made with cornmeal. Is this just a variation? And that's a particular point here that I kind of want to hit home, and that is you'll see many different kinds of hasty puddings in 18th century cookbooks because hasty puddings weren't just one thing. They were more like a whole class of things. It was almost like saying fast food. There are many different ways of making a pudding in haste. In other words, any kind of pudding that you can do quickly is a hasty pudding. And so they varied. Some of them were like little boiled puddings, and many of them were like a porridge, or the one we made which used a sort of a primitive pasta version. You can make it with cornmeal and just put it in boiling water and keep stirring it, and you end up with things that are very similar to what we would call oatmeal or cream of wheat, all these sorts of things and other weird variations. They're all hasty puddings. There were so many great comments on the Assembling a Knife Kit video. Really, if you get a chance and you're interested in any of these kinds of things, make sure to check out the comment sections because so many great good suggestions. Here's one from Seamus6387. He says, if you don't want to use glue on the tang, you could use cutler's wax instead. The recipe I have is 1 part pine resin, a 1/4 part beeswax, and a big pinch of powdered charcoal. And you just heat that up and drip it in the hole, and while it's still hot, you put the blade in, and that acts as a wax or as a glue. I thought that was a very interesting suggestion. So here's a really good one, although I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, so I'll just let you read it on the screen here. He says, I always wrap the blade in 4 or 5 layers of masking tape. That way a slip is not a trip to the ER. That's an excellent suggestion for anybody working on a knife in a vise and you don't want to hurt yourself. A frequent commenter, 57 Willie CJ, and he says, an antler can be straightened by boiling it in water and then clamping it in a vise. I've never seen that. I haven't tried that. That's a real interesting idea there to straighten out those real curved tips to make into knife blades. I'll have to try that one out. Luke Osborne asks, if you're using antler, could you heat up the tang so that it's hot enough to burn out the antler? And the answer would be yes, you could. But if you've ever smelled burning antler, you would say no, you shouldn't do that at all. And also, with the heating up the tang and using it to burn a hole for the handle, that is very problematic. You have to be very careful that you don't heat into the blade of the knife, or you'll ruin the hardening of it. You'll temper that blade out and make the blade soft, and it won't hold an edge anymore. So there's kind of 2 problems with that. And M. Everett Munson he says, did you mean convex grind on the blade? Yes, I made a total mistake. I said concave, and we were going to fix that in editing, and then we both forgot, and so it's wrong in the video. It's convex. Thanks for pointing that out. 2 divided by 3. He says, do you guys sell that little tool used to drill the hole in the wooden handle? You mentioned the name, but I don't know how to spell it. It's a gimlet, and we don't sell the little gimlets. I would just go on eBay and do a quick search for those. I found a lot of different, probably 19th century ones. It's a nice little tool to have around the house when you don't want to get out your power drill and you just need to make a little hole. So check that out on eBay. On Monday, we're starting a periodic series on food preservation techniques, so make sure to check out Monday's cooking episode. And I really want to thank all you viewers out there, especially those you guys that are commenting. We get so many great comments, great questions, and good suggestions that are people giving on the videos. That is so much help, and sharing them, very, very helpful. Thank you guys out there for all that you're doing, helping to support us. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're a new viewer and you haven't subscribed, press the subscribe button up here. That'll take you to a spot where you can subscribe. That really is the best way to get notification of all the new videos that are out. I want to thank everyone for watching.